Shredded is steel's most potent and comprehensive thermogenic fat burner. Shredded is a multifaceted product that works to increase thermogenesis, suppress appetite, and to supply you with continuous energy and mental clarity. By combining potent stimulant profile along with sustained thermogenic compounds, Shredded utilizes a mechanism of action all angles to ensure an optimal rate of body fat loss. Shredded works best when using a caloric deficit while keeping your protein intake at a high level. Doing so will allow your body to mobilize stored fat to be burned away while preserving both muscle and strength levels. We have formulated Shredded so that both men and women are able to incorporate this formula into their supplement regimen without worry. Now, when and how to take Shredded. Now, we suggest starting with 1 capsule in the morning with a meal to assess your tolerance. You can take 1 capsule 6 to 8 hours later if desired. A full serving of Shredded is 2 capsules per day, so please make sure not to exceed the recommended serving. Now, Shredded is an extremely potent stimulant, so please don't take within the same 6 to 8 hour window as other stimulants such as pre-charged, amped, focused, coffee, energy drinks, etc. Due to the strength of Shredded, we suggest taking 1 to 2 days off per week. This will help your body to restore its CNS and keep Shredded potent throughout your cycle. Next, we're going to go through an ingredient breakdown. We're going to start with B vitamin complexes. Within Shredded, we have incorporated vitamin B6, B12, and folate, which all focus on nutrient breakdown, nutrient partitioning, and increased energy. When you're in a caloric deficit, every calorie counts in order to maintain energy levels and to make sure that you are giving your body the fuel it needs to perform and recover. Next, caffeine, one of the most popular stimulants on the planet. You have probably had caffeine in some form or another. Caffeine is great for increasing mental awareness as well as sensation of energy. Studies have shown that caffeine supplementation increased metabolic rate for multiple hours after initial ingestion, leading to a sustained fat burning effect. At higher doses of caffeine, like 300 mg and a full serving of Shredded, caffeine may work to support appetite suppression. This can be immeasurably helpful to keep caloric intake low, especially if you're constantly surrounded by temptation at work or out in public. Caffeine also works in conjunction with other stimulant compounds in Shredded to contribute to an enhanced mood, energy, and cognitive function. Next up, we have beta-phenylethylamine, highly efficient to binding TAAR1 receptors, which will lead to a higher concentration of norepinephrine, dopamine, and serotonin as a synaptic level through the mechanism of reuptake inhibition. This enables an overall increase in mood as well as enhanced stored glucose secretion via the increase in norepinephrine concentrations, leading to more energy for your body to use and contributing to the heightened rate of calories burned. N-acetyl L-tyrosine, also known as NALT, this is L-tyrosine bound to acetyl group. This specific acetyl group allows for unlocking passage through the blood-brain barrier. This is going to allow for a multi-stage process of conversion from tyrosine into L-dopa, which converts to dopamine, which will further convert into epinephrine and norepinephrine. Now, NALT works in conjunction with other compounds such as PEA to increase epinephrine and norepinephrine levels. Tyrosine is also involved in thyroid health, responsible for the production of T3 and T4 hormones. Basically, what all of this boils down to is that your mood is going to increase and maintain that elevated state for longer. Stress management improves and your thyroid is supported, which is great, not just for body fat loss, but overall health as well. Next up, we have N-phenethyl-dimethylamine, a compound sourced from Aerogerensis plant, part of an orchid family. Now, this is also going to work in tandem with PEA to bind to TAAR1 receptors, give you those enhanced benefits we talked about in increased glucose secretion from norepinephrine and mood enhancement from the increased dopamine. The main difference between PEA is the PEA is a very fast acting, while N-phenethyl-dimethylamine is a buffered form, meaning it takes longer to break down, so this will help to sustain the good effects. Hordenine HCl, an adrenergic stimulant compound found in barley. Hordenine works in conjunction with PEA and N-phenethyl-dimethylamine to allow them both to work for longer periods of time by prohibiting the MAO enzyme from removing their amine groups. Hordenine also helps to release norepinephrine, which will help your body to respond to physical stress and break down fat within the body. Your body is able to use those broke down fatty acids as energy rather than to allowing them to be stored again. Next up, we have pyridoxine. Also known as grains of paradise, this is a vital component of Shredded when it comes to increasing thermogenesis. Thermogenesis is the process of heat production in the body. By using isolated extracts from the grains of paradise known as paradols, we can actually increase the rate of thermogenesis in the human body and thusly increase your rate of homeostasis, which will drive up total energy expenditure, resulting in white fat converting to brown adipose tissue being used as fuel through the mechanism of increasing irisin. Irisin is excreted through the skeletal muscle and interacts with stored white fat to allow the conversion into brown adipose tissue. The good thing about increasing rates of brown adipose tissue being used is that this increases ATP usage throughout the body, driving up not only energy expenditure and heat production, but providing your body with energy on a non-stimulatory pathway, which can really help with the sluggish or dragging feeling you may be experiencing from a drop in caloric intake. N-methyltyramine, sourced from plants such as bitter orange, NMT has been shown to provide positive benefits when it comes to priming your body for lipolysis. Now, lipolysis is the breakdown of fats into fatty acids. So essentially what MMT will do is mobilize stored fat and turn it into these fatty acids that your body will then need to use, then process out of your body, since those fatty acids cannot be stored as fat any longer. NMT has also been shown to have a direct impact on adrenergic receptors, which will allow your adrenaline and your noradrenaline receptors to become more efficient in producing those compounds at a higher rate. By increasing your brain chemicals across the board in conjunction with other compounds found in shredded like NMT, NALT, and PAA, this is going to help support a sustained increased sense of well-being along with mental clarity and energy throughout the day. Next up, we have theophylline, an incredibly potent respiratory agent. Theophylline works to achieve bronchodilation via the traditional relaxation of bronchial smooth muscle, but also works to achieve an increase in your heart's muscle contraction force, increasing your rate of oxygen consumption and supporting strong cardiovascular function is going to, in turn, increase your metabolism, allowing you to burn more fat. Next up, we have isopropyl norepinephrine, sourced primarily from bitter orange. ISO is one of the most effective plant-based lipolytic agents on the planet. This is going to support the biochemical process of taking stored white body fat and converting it into brown adipose tissue, similar to the paradoxine we covered earlier. By creating two prolonged attack on stored fat throughout thermogenesis, lipolytic activity, you're going to be maximizing the rate at which you will be able to reduce stored body fat and use it as energy. ISO is also very effective in antagonizing beta receptors, leading to the increase in epinephrine adrenaline activity. Next up, we have lean GBB. Another standout ingredient, lean GBB offers unique fat loss processes. Studies have shown that GBB increases the production of L-carnitine in the body. Scientists believe that through this process of increasing L-carnitine in the body, it causes a thermogenic effect, increasing thermogenesis and opening up your pores to allow for an increased sweat production. Carnitine is the transportation mechanism for long-chain fatty acids into mitochondria. This is going to allow those fatty acids to go through beta oxidation, converting them into ATP, which our bodies use as energy. The interesting thing about this is that lean GGB with paradoxine achieves the thermogenic effects without being composed of stimulant properties, allowing us to make a formulation that is able to offer far more comprehensive fat burning profile without relying solely on oversaturation of stimulants to make it happen. Bioperine. Extracted from black pepper fruit, bioperine is best known as a bioavailability uptake agent. Essentially, bioperine is going to assist in the uptake and assimilation of all of the various compounds found within shredded. In addition to this, bioperine offers a slight benefit in terms of increasing thermogenesis by stimulating the release of catecholamines, which are thermogenic compounds that are activated when CAMP activity is increased through the intake of nutrients or thermostimulating substances. Lastly, bioperine can enhance the length of time that stimulants last in your body through actions such as working in conjunction with hordenine for further MAO enzyme control or blocking stimulant metabolizing enzymes such as P-glycoproteins. Next up, we have alpha yohimbine, aka rosylene, an alkaloid found in the yohimbine plant. By blocking alpha-2 adrenergic receptors, this causes an increase in blood flow as well as increasing dopamine, epinephrine, and norepinephrine to further drive the fight or flight response, ramping up your alertness and response time. When your alpha-2 receptors are activated, this can lead to an increased blood pressure and also shuts down the insulin production and utilization. By controlling these receptors, you're able to have higher levels of brain chemical activity, allowing the production of insulin, lower blood pressure, decrease appetite, and support to further fat loss. Huperzine A. Huperzine A is known as an acetylcholinesterase inhibitor. By inhibiting this compound, you are able to drive up production of the neurotransmitter acetylcholine, which is vital in the parasympathetic nervous system responsible for blood vessel dilation. Acetylcholine also activates cholinergic receptors found in the brain, which can drive up memory retention and improve motor function. Huperzine is a mental anti-inflammatory and has neuroprotective benefits that can help reduce the impact of stress on your mental performance. When your brain is in a more relaxed state, you are not only better control of your mental capacities, but this will allow your body to increase the rate of fat burning potential by reducing processes that hold on to body fat, such as insulin suppression and alpha-2 receptor activation. Next up, we have 3,5-diiodo-L-thyronine, referred to as T2. This compound offers substantial benefits when it comes to increasing metabolism. Studies have shown that T2 increase hepatic oxygen consumption as well as oxidative capacity. T2 has also been shown to combat insulin resistance and allow for an increase in mitochondrial function, which dries up ATP usage in the body. Off to the frequently asked questions. Can I take shredded as a pre-workout? Shredded can be taken with any of our stimulant-free products like NO7, Adiabolic, Pumped, BCAAs, EAAs, ATP Fusion, Hyperade, and a popular way to take shredded is to take one capsule in the morning with a meal to kickstart thermogenesis and mental clarity. Then take one capsule 6 to 8 hours later in conjunction with vasodilators such as NO7 and Pumped AF as a pre-workout. Taking vasodilators with shredded AF is seriously quite beneficial. The stimulant properties of shredded are vasoconstrictive by nature, so balancing that out with a vasodilator will still give you the full benefits of shredded while also unlocking the increased blood flow, which will further drive the effectiveness of shredded. How long am I able to cycle shredded for? For optimal results, we suggest cycling shredded for a maximum of 12 weeks, then taking a 4-week break from shredded and other heavy stimulants. Please remember to take 1 to 2 days off per week while cycling shredded. Am I able to take shredded with creatine? Absolutely, and we suggest creatine monohydrate as this has been proven to be the most effective form of creatine. We offer ATP Fusion, which is a pH buffered form of creatine monohydrate and works great with shredded to support intracellular muscle hydration without excessive bloating or digestive discomfort. Because shredded increases sweat production and creatine uses water to function, please make sure you are staying hydrated at all times. Now, this concludes our overview of shredded AF. If you have any further questions regarding this product and its use, please contact us via our online chat, email, or you can message us through one of our social media platforms, or call in and talk to a product specialist live time. And there you have it, guys. It's shredded AF.